All right, so our gorgeous little Miss S, Sophie went out for a little potty break. Oh, ready? There's a find it right there, ma'am. So I wanted to work a little bit with some of the novelty or different items out on the floor. I didn't take out everything. I know she's been doing the confidence building class. Oh my goodness, look at you, smart girl. And she's been rocking some of these skills. I love the fact that she just went up on the bowls and did a pause up or step up instantly. What a brilliant girl. So when practicing anything new with your babes, I know for some, we at times will lure them to try something. We do want to be cautionary though, and I know we've dived into this a little bit here and there in class and a few other videos here and there. Ready? Find it. But we want to be careful that we're not by accident poisoning our food or poisoning the skill. So if your babe was really nervous about something and now you're trying to pair food with the bringer of that thing, your food could be the precursor to the bad happening. Two, if let's say you're using food and you're luring the babe into or onto something they find really scary, that's creating a lot of conflict because your babe would probably not do that skill had there been no food involved. So if we were to try luring, we would want to make sure, yes, that our puppy is feeling comfortable offering that skill. If they don't know something, perfectly fine if they're unsure, but we don't want to force them to choose between feeling safe and getting a paycheck or earning some snacks. So when it comes to like a pause up behavior or working on an inanimate object or something crinkly or nerve-wracking, we'd want to make sure, like, I'm just going to grab the target bed as well, like the cot. For some of them, if let's say a raised platform is challenging, I know I've shown sometimes starting with it upside down, so it's less of a jumping onto something and more of a walking onto something. Ready, Sophie? Come. She's like, lady, I'm getting exhausted. Huh? What are you doing? She's like, there's been some good smells in here prior. Oh, see, she's got to leave a little something behind. So don't worry, there's actually almost nothing coming out because of the fact that she's already gone outside for the actual restroom. But when your puppies are in season, they will want to leave extra information behind because they want to make sure they're leaving their digits available for other friends to find. So obviously for us, going to the restroom is not a form of communication, but for dogs, it sure is. So they learn a lot of information through the fecal and the urine matter, where we thankfully just hopefully wash our hands when we're done and we're all set. So when it comes to your babe, nice job, cutie, is reinforcing these little moments where you get some great behavior could be another great way to create this really nice rapport with the novelty. I know she's pretty comfortable and rather confident, which is awesome, but we want to keep building on that through her adolescence. So ready? Sophie, nice job. So we'll just do a couple little find it's on the target bed. She's obviously not as flustered. Like Mr. B, Bernie thought the bed was a little bit creepy. So we started with it upside down and just felt it out. Nice job, cutie. So she's like, that one's acceptable. I feel like towards the end, she also is like a little bit fussy with her food because of course she's probably getting full, which is why I do try to break up her snacks itty bitty. She's doing a real nice job. Are you going to work a little bit on that place behavior? Oh, smart girl rocking that sit. So maybe we'll work a little bit with stay for a second, then we'll go back to some of these items. So we're going to tell her to stay. And right now, I'm not going to add tons of difficulty. So what I mean by that is I'm not going to add a whole bunch of different time frames where one is longer, one is shorter. I just want to keep it about even. And I want to make sure it seems easy enough for her. So if let's say I lose her, I might go again, bed. She's like, oh, lame lady, the heat came on, makes funny noises. So if I lose her, I might try again with little find it. She seems to like to visually see the food. Again, it doesn't mean that that's the only way you're going to rock it later. But when she gets a little bit more fatigued, I want to make sure that my criteria goes down as she finds things to be a little bit more challenging. So if she's getting a little bit more tired, I may just capture the behavior in the beginning stages of what I'm looking for. Maybe I don't get the full response the way I was hoping with like a sit or a down stay. Ready? Sophie, ready? Bed? And I know she has her little bed, but of course I left it off to the side and we'll use that later if we work some more real stays. But right now I just want to practice going to this new target spot and feeling okay with it. Ready, Soph? We'll try a little bit with a sit potentially. And she's like, no, I'm already exhausted. So if she's not feeling it for her place behavior on the weird cot, we'll take a little breather from the cot exercise. I'm just going to plop those snacks off for her if she wants to eat them up later. Oh, banging. So let's say again, we're going to try a little bit with our pause up or step up. I sometimes like to, yes, is in the beginning, I would have lured her onto the target if she felt safe to do so with the food. If you're seeing hesitation in your pup, you want to get them comfortable doing flat targets or targets that are not hollow, and then build in their comfort range there. So sometimes you could use like a towel or something soft, but if you're using something that has the wiggle behind it, so what I mean by that is if your flooring is sort of has very little traction, like hardwood tile or something similar, and you put a blanket down, it's going to slip and slide. For some of the babes, that becomes overwhelming. So if you're going to use a target item that can be on those slippery surfaces, I'd recommend one that has the rubber underneath, almost like a bath mat. Sophie, come. What a good girl. Yes. She's like, no, I'm all done. You super full? She's like, I am done. So if she's feeling a bit full, I'm just going to see if I can get a few more things out of her. I even tried breaking up her goodies itty bitty. But two, they've been here for a little bit. So while they're rotating through play and exploration and doing some other stuff, they do get a little tired. So here is one of my favorites to sometimes play with. It's a hula hoop. If your babe has not done much with the hulas, don't worry. In the beginning, if your babe is a little bit unsure, I like to offer the food and then toss it and then have the puppy just walk through it. If your babe was already really flustered by something visual that's new, start it flat. Have them do fun, easy things near it, but don't force by luring them to it. If your puppy went and checked it out all on their own, you could feed for, let's say they approach the thing, you could go yes, and then feed away from the item. And then that way you're not creating the, oh my gosh, we're so hungry. Ready? All right, let's see if we can try it. Ready, find it? Good job. So in the beginning, I don't necessarily say the thing that I'm looking for. So if let's say I wanted her to do like a jump, or I say hula or whatever slogan, pick whatever you like. I just want her to think there's value in moving through the obstacles. So I might show it to her and then I'm going to toss it and have her sneak on through. So in the beginning, this is on the floor. I'm not adding, for example, jumping. If let's say she was feeling a little bit more comfortable, I might slightly raise it where she has to lift up her little legs. If she's halfway through, I might toss a little something. Again, there we go. Find it. There we go. Good job. It didn't roll the way I was hoping. So, and those are the snacks that she's maybe not as in love with. Ready? So again, nice. So we might start off with the hula, again, a little bit up so you can kind of see her work it. Ready? So I'm going to get her attention and we're going to toss it and see if she can, again, jump slightly over it. So I'm not going to make this super immensely hard, where if she's never done it in her life, I all of a sudden make her jump through hoops, literally. So when exposing to something novel, keep it easy, keep it comfortable. If, again, your puppy was nervous of the thing itself, feed for anything good that you can get around the item. So we might try again. Ready? Sophie? Paws up. She's like, how about a sit? So again, if she's a little unsure, I might go again. Paws up. Yes. Nice job, cutie. Such a smart girl. She's like, these ones are acceptable. I like that bad boy, she says. Good job. What a smart woman. We are getting a little tired. And you can start to see when they get a little tired because their responses obviously get a little bit slower. But then also their eyes get kind of like a soft eyes. So like almost like they're getting a little bit fatigued. What do you think? You want to try this one? So we'll do her again. Our paws up over here. And if she's a little bit unsure, I might even target it myself. Yes. So you can always lower the criteria. Oh yeah, those ones you don't like as much here. So you can always lower the criteria, see where you might get your babe's better response and go from there. But just like with anything, training is not linear. So ready? Paws up. So it's not going to be the most beautiful thing you've ever done every single time. Sometimes you might get the beginning stages of something. Sometimes you might get the full big boy, big girl behavior. Other times you get nothing. So ready? Paws up. Yes, what a good girl. But don't feel too frustrated or bummed out if sometimes you have to change up your criteria or change up your lesson plan. There could be some times where you're like, okay, we're going to work on loose leash walking, coming when called, and maybe our bed behavior with a place. Ready? Paws up. And maybe your babe doesn't feel that comfortable rocking it. She's like, lady, I'm so tired. Ready? There we go. We'll eat off the bowl. So being able to be flexible means that your babe is going to get still a great experience where if we're always looking to have a particular setup and it doesn't go our way, we get discouraged and sort of bummed out. But then our lesson plan, paired with the puppy may also seem like a bit of a downer. So definitely being able to rotate, ready, we'll do a little find it, and bounce around can make it where training can be more fun. If you have a hard time picking and choosing some skills to work on, some of my favorites is to, on index cards, write out some of the skills you'd like to work on, some that you might already know, and some that are kind of like in the works. And then pick 3 out of the deck and then rotate through those skills. So maybe from your deck of index cards, you picked like working a place behavior, you worked on eye contact, like a look behavior, and maybe you're working on paws up. And then you rotate through those things. And of course, if your babe's like, no thanks, you might pick a different one and put the other one back in the deck. Nice job, cutie. But being flexible is going to be really beneficial for both because it's going to keep the training comfortable, easy, and fun. Ready? Find it. Because if we're not having fun while we're practicing from both ends, what's the point? But then also, how much skill set are we going to be able to build into that pup if they're finding it really scary, flustering, or not at all, engaging? So slow and steady wins the race for pretty much everything. Ready? Good job, cutie. So, but we'll probably give our lovely Miss S a little break. She did a really nice job with her paws up and her little hula hoop, and of course going on the target caught. But she's getting very tired, and then we'll call it a day for our gorgeous gal and rotate through some more friends. But really, Miss S is doing a really impressive job.